Howdy y'all, Chris Bohn here for County Kitchen. Welcome back. Today we're going to try something a little bit different, something I've done before on one of my other shows. I do a YouTube channel. It's called Meat Off the Bone, B-O-H-N. It's my last name. Anyway, check it out if you haven't seen it. But it was so popular that I wanted to bring it over to the County Kitchen and see how y'all like it. Anyway, we're going to do banana bread today. I'm actually going to make banana nut bread. I'm going to put some nuts in there. And, well, I'm going to show you how to do it. Welcome. All right, the ingredients are, I'm going to put 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of brown sugar, some mixed nuts that I had at the house that I brought with me that I'm going to crunch up, 3 eggs. You have salt, or you have 2 tablespoons of salt and 2 teaspoons of salt. Sorry, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, not baking powder, baking soda, very important. And 5 small bananas. You can use 3 medium bananas or 2 very large bananas. Make sure all of them are overripe. Since my bananas are very, very small, I mean, look at this little thing. That's a tiny little banana. So I'm using 5. Besides, you can't really go wrong by using too many bananas. Come on, it's banana bread. What do you, it tastes too much like banana? What's wrong with that? And 1 whole stick of butter. Banana bread's one of the most easiest breads, or kind of a, not really a dough, but it is a bread that you can make. You don't have to be exact on the recipe like you do have to be on a lot of other types of breads, like croissants or a baguette. All right. Well, first off, what we're going to do, let's take you with me. Turn our oven on. 350. If you have a conventional oven or one with a high fan inside, turn the fan off or on low. You don't need the fan to cook this. You just want it to cook on the inside more than you want to dry out on the outside. You don't want it too dry on the outside. All right. So right now, I'm going to move this out the way. I'm gonna leave my nuts in the bag. I'm gonna take out the rolling pin. And beat them up. You can use peanuts, pecans, walnuts, cashews, Brazil nuts, any type of nut you want. I used all of them. All right, hey, gotta be perfect. Nuts. The nuts will go in at the very last. I'm gonna conserve a couple of the nuts to sprinkle over the top and let up when they cook. They'll have the nuts on top of it. All right, we're gonna take our butter. We're gonna melt it. Everyone's different. I mean, just melt the butter. It doesn't have to be boiling. It doesn't have to be, you know, totally melted. Just enough for it to be soft enough for you to mix the brown sugar in, the bananas, and the egg, and then we're all going to incorporate that with the flour. All right. Get out my trusty fork. I could use an egg or like an electric mixer or even a whisk. You don't need to. A fork will do you just fine. I will probably use a spatula at the very end to get all the excess, but this is really, really easy to do, and you don't need a lot of heavy equipment to do it. You have to just use whatever you have lying around the house. While this is melting, actually we've got 10 seconds left. It's boiling. Keep on forgetting my microwave is like really, really powerful. Let's not forget, because I've done this before, grease your pans. You can use either a bread pan that's commonly used. Me, I'm going to use muffin pans because I like muffin pans. That means you can eat more than one, and you know, well, I like eating more than one. I don't know if I'm going to be using all of these muffin holes, but I just want to be rather be safe than sorry. I have a dishwasher. I know how to use it. No big deal. All right. Let's put the butter in right here. We're just gonna mix this up, make sure everything is nice and smooth. If you have hard brown sugar, don't even worry about it. It softens up in the butter. You can use hard brown sugar or soft brown sugar, light brown sugar or dark brown sugar. It really doesn't matter. Any type of brown sugar that you want to use. You can even use maybe sprinkle in a little bit of cinnamon in here with you if you like cinnamon banana bread. All right. Now for the eggs. All right, make sure there's no shells in there, and you mix it. Looking pretty good. It's wonderful, actually. All right, just incorporate your bananas, mush them out. There's no rhyme or reason or technique to do it. Just put them in, mush them up. If you wanted to use an electric mixer, now would be the time to do it. You don't really want to use an electric mixer when you put it in the flour, because if you over knead it, it becomes really stiff and hard. And well, some people like a harder banana bread, because if people who like to toast the banana bread like a harder, firmer cut of bread so it stays together while it's toasting. But me, I like a kind of a softer bread that I can just, you know, if I want to toast it, I can toast it. If I want to, I just have to watch it, because a toaster will sometimes it'll break off in your toaster, and then you have to like get it out. But it's no big deal. Anyway, but like I said, if you want to mix this really well, which maybe I should. Nah, I'm all right. I'm good with my fork. Just takes a little bit longer. This is looking really good. All right, now we're going to add our salt and our baking soda. Now we're going to add the nuts. Just, there we go. And I'll conserve the rest of them to go on top. Just almost like a garnish. But yeah, the nuts go in with this so we get the nuts incorporated evenly with the banana and the wet ingredients. The last thing we do is put them in the flour. That way we don't over. All right, add this to the flour. Stir it in just to get the flour moist. It's not really a hard dough, but it still is a dough. Just really want to fold it together. And this is looking really, really nice. It's coming out very, very nice. This is exactly what you want to see. Exactly what you want to see. A few more tries to make sure all the dough, all the flour is incorporated. I'm looking at the bottom. I can just barely see white. I don't want to see white down there. So right now, I'm actually going to employ a other friend of mine called the spatula. You see the whiteness. You want all the whiteness gone. You're not going to overdo your dough, so don't worry about it. If it's a little bit firmer to bite, I mean, it's no big deal. But I'd rather have a firmer bite and totally cooked and totally combined dough than, you know, bite in and find a nice pocket of uncooked flour. That's nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Well, maybe some people. But those are weird people, and I want nothing to do with them. That's just strange to me. All right, and this is looking wonderful. Okay. What I'm going to do, make sure the camera can see. Take your scoop, about 3/4 of the way full, and boom. You want it about maybe half of the muffin, maybe a little bit more, but not much more, because it does rise. It will rise, not a whole lot, but it will rise. So you just want to be careful. See, I might have it just a bit much. Yeah, about maybe 3/4 of the scoop, depending. I mean, you can spoon it in. It doesn't matter. Do whatever you want to do. All right. There's that one. I think this is going to come out a perfect batch. Let's incorporate my spatula once more. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Now, we are ready to put them in the oven, but remember we have the excess nuts. Just to go over the tops. And I used salted mixed nuts. I didn't even think about it. Maybe you don't want to use quite salted because you don't want to make your banana bread too salty, but I'm using them anyway. No big deal. No big deal at all. This is all for fun. See, when I made the video on YouTube, I actually put in I put chocolate chips on top, and it was actually pretty good. But I think nuts work out better. Okay, we are ready to put them in the oven. We would be putting these up in the oven since they're in muffin pans. Usually if it was in the bread pan, it'd be about 60-65 minutes or so. Since they're in a muffin pan, I'm going to check them after 35 minutes, and they'll probably be ready to come out in about 45 minutes, depending on everyone's oven. It differs. I have a very powerful oven. It's going to be probably going to take a lot less longer than someone else's. But the secret is we're going to take a toothpick, and when we check them, we're going to poke them. And if any residue comes off the toothpick, you know that there's still dough. There's still wet dough inside, and you want to stick them back in the oven for another 5 to 10 minutes. All right, well, let's get these things in. Whenever I'm making bread or any type of dough, I always put it on the bottom. I never put them on the top. It's just my own personal preference. But we have, it's about 5 to 11. 5 to 11. I'll check in about exactly 11 or 11:30, and I'll bring you with me. I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, it's only been 30 minutes since I put them in. I know I said I was going to check them around 35-40 minutes. I can smell it, and knowing since I've been doing this business long enough, if I smell something, I'm going to go ahead and check it just to make sure it's okay. A lot of times I'm usually right. So what I did was I grabbed me a toothpick, and we're gonna open up. Well, look at that. Look at that. It's only been 30 minutes. Wow. This looks like something you get at the store. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this toothpick, I'm just going to puncture it and get it right in the middle and kind of wiggle a little bit and see if there's anything that comes off on the stick itself, which I don't see anything there. I don't see anything there. You're putting it all the way down to the middle. And well, okay. They might actually be done, which is, I'm not really surprised because this oven is very powerful, and also it's the muffin pans that I'm using. If you put them in a regular bread loaf pan, it's a lot more mass inside to cook all at once, but in a muffin pan you only have this little bit. And don't forget to turn this off. So, I mean, it's really looking good. It's smelling wonderful. It's not burnt by any means. It is brown, but that's what you expect. It's banana bread. It's supposed to be brown. And I'm going to go ahead and take one out and cut into it with you here, just to show you. I don't know which one to do though. Maybe I'll do this one without the nuts on it. It's a rather big one too, so. Oh, look at that. This is why you always want to Look at that. Wow. It just came out perfect. Wow. What I want to do is I want to see what it looks like on the inside. You see it? Hardly. I'll bring it up to you. Well, folks, you can't get better than that. You cannot get better than that. That looks wonderful. It's very hot. It is totally done on the inside. It's perfectly cooked on the inside. Oh my goodness. I'm actually surprised. Not really surprised, I'm actually glad. Wow. If you never tried banana bread at your home or anywhere, I highly suggest you giving this a try. It's so easy. You can feed a multitude of people with it. And it took a half hour. Well, besides just putting it together, which took about 20 minutes or so. Less than an hour, you have literally 12 banana muffins, large banana muffins. I mean, these things, half of this is pretty big. Half of this will make is a lunch. Put a little bit of butter on that, or even some peanut butter spread on that. I can taste the nuts. The nuts don't make it too salty. You get the banana, of course. You get the sweetness of the brown sugar. You could not ask for a better banana bread right there. I hope you tried. I hope you enjoyed watching. Please, if you have any requests, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you for support. Y'all take care. Have a great one.